Hello, I'm back again in my, what are we calling this? Pockets journal. Yeah, last time I wanted to do some stamping and some other things, and I didn't have my stamps. I didn't have my case with me, so I can only do what I did. And you can see that in the previous video. I used jet black here to stamp receipt on my receipt envelope. How about that? I got this box of letter stamps. They're Stampin' Up. They were not on the little blocks. It was like brand new, and I got it at a thrift shop for $6. I have this set already that was used that I got at a thrift shop years ago, and some of the letters were were attached kind of weird, sideways, and I always had to pre-stamp to make sure my letter was facing the right way. But this is all of mine. It's new, which is nice, and if I didn't put the letters on the blocks correctly, please don't come at me. I'm just doing it the way that felt the best in my hand. I'm bad at following directions, what can I say? But yeah, here I am typing. Yes, I'm typing. No, I'm inking the little stamps, and let's see, I'm going to put an S on here, and luckily it all worked out. It's not too bad. Sometimes with the archival ink, or with any ink on shiny magazine pages, it will smear a little bit before it dries, but archival ink dries pretty fast and it doesn't smear usually, but I always check it. And then I'm just going to clean these little stamps and tuck that envelope back into the top of the other envelope. Here's a new thing. I forgot to take it out of the journal last week. Completely forgot. And anyway, this is a little journal I made to go into one of the pockets. I get tired of sewing in signatures, so this time I'm just gonna do something different. I have this little ball of interesting yarn. I like to pick up these kind of things at the thrift store for $1 or 50 cents or whatever, and then I just use them in my journals for different purposes, but it's for decoration, and it's just different than just twine, I guess. I mean, I like twine as much as anybody. But yeah, so I'm just going to wrap it around from the middle there and wrap it kind of as tight as possible. I know I'm using more yarn to do this than just to tie in or sew in a signature, but I just wanted to do something different. So I'm going to loop it one way under all of that to try to keep it all together, and loop the other side in the opposite direction and make a bow. Where's that third hand to hold that knot? I wanted to show you my massive pen storage case. I dragged this thing to my shop. It's like, I don't know how many pounds it weighs. It's too heavy. I really don't take it out of the house because it is so heavy. But these are some, or if not all, of the markers that I have accumulated. This set here on the right are gel markers, and I have different tips of Sharpies, and then in the back I have colored pencils, and I have Tim Holtz distress crayons, which I have never used. I really want to get over the fear of them this year, this season. And yeah, I'm going to try in my new journal that I'm going to be working on. But I wanted to take out some markers because I want to put them into the little carry case that I have in my tote bag. But first, I'm going to do this. So I started my professional doodling career, and by professional I mean doodling in public, in my, I don't know, 9th or 10th grade government class. At the end of the last month, give or take three weeks to the end, Mr. Bance, our government teacher, decided to stop teaching. He had completed his lesson plans, and that was it. So I started doodling in class because all we did was just sit there. So I started with my notebook paper, and I just took an ink pen and would just start doodling. And eventually I came back, I don't know, a few days later, and I had brought in my markers, and yeah, so I just sit there and doodle and fill in the doodles, and kids would just, it was so weird because kids would just, they just watch, just, I don't know. I think it's calming. I don't know. It was interesting. And I think somebody said, how do you make your lines so straight? And I don't know. It was just, it's kind of hilarious. And my mom kept all my doodles. I don't know. I think I still have them somewhere. After she passed, I grabbed some papers and stuff, and maybe I'll find them again one day. And here is my trusty tote bag. My little mini. There's my brooches that I have sewn, collaged on the sewing machine. I'm going to wear the little car today. There's the cargo pockets, and I'm going to use that as a pin organizer. I have charms. I showed you charms last week. I have more charms, and these are ones that I got on clearance at Michael's years ago. You know, when they used to have clearance and on the end caps, and I would just run through the store and grab things that looked interesting. And then eventually I took them off the packaging, and then I put them in the jars, and then I haven't used them, but I love them. Look at that. It's a little bird in a nest with eggs. And this is a little coin with the crown upside down. And I'm going to choose 5 of them because I want to decorate the spine of my junk journal. And I just want to figure out which ones will, I don't know, the ones that, you know, catch my eye, make me feel a certain something to go kind of with the Western theme and the kind of a grungy. Those are too shiny. There's a clock that doesn't really work right now. And let's see. Oh, that's a coin, yeah. No, that's just a round thing. Oh, that spoon with that. I've got to make a necklace out of that. That is such a cool charm. Let's see, what else am I gonna... Oh, that one says art. Look at that. That's a little on the nose, but these are just real whimsical. That one laugh. Yeah, well, don't tell me what to do. But, let's see. Oh, yeah, a little... That's kind of like a dice type of thing, maybe? I'm not sure. Okay. Here is the journal that I plan to decorate, because why not? Big idea in junk journals is to have dangles on the side, which I really like, but my dangles tend to get knotted up. So I'm gonna try something different. In my kit for bookbinding that I got on Amazon, they gave you a little vial of needles, a little test tube of needles. So that's what I keep my bookbinding needles in. They're a wider eye on the needle, so thicker string, like, or this yarn that I'm going to use again, goes through the needle. Should go through the needle. If it doesn't, I just get a different size needle. But this is where I'm going to test out my thoughts on trying to put this dangle of beads or charms down the side without them getting twisted and, tangled up. Well, I finally figured out sort of how to do this. I'm taking a length of that yarn, and I'm going to needle, put the needle through the hole in the charm, not the dangly thing on the end that possibly the thread, the yarn could fall through. You know how they're not sometimes squeezed real tight. So I'm going to use the holes, and I go through the hole, and then I knot where the bead is and kind of estimate where it should hang, and put all the charms on the string, and then sew the string to the journal spine. Last thing I want to do is put my leaf from the Olive Garden bag that I sewed around. Well, first I drew around with a fine tip Sharpie, and then I sewed around the leaves and distressed the edges of the paper bag. I'm going to glue it to the back of my journal,